Good morning and welcome back to Friday Coffee Talks number 43. I need this cup of coffee today. It's very good too. I had a 6 o'clock a.m. flight home and I am very much dragging. I had like 3 hours of sleep last night, but we are here. We're drinking this lovely cup of coffee. It has been a wild week of travel for me. Got to go visit some of my favorite customers in Pittsburgh. I'm not naming any names. All of them are wonderful. Got to visit some great folks. Had a great time up there. And then I was in Memphis the tail end of the week. Had a couple of really good meetings, and last minute got to go to the Memphis Grizzly game with my good friend at CDW. So had a blast last night at the Grizzlies game. Rode a bird scooter around downtown Memphis in the middle of the night and just about froze to death. But it was a blast. Had a great time. It felt like back to normal. Just flight after flight after flight and bouncing around between meetings and things like that. But wouldn't trade it for the world. It was an excellent week, very productive week, and that's all you can ask for. So got to hang with a lot of good people. But one of the things that I did this week was on the plane, I watched a documentary about Anthony Bourdain, called Roadrunner. And if you haven't seen it, it's mind blowing. I've always been a fan of Anthony Bourdain. I knew him as a CNN host, TV chef, all that stuff. If you're not familiar with him, he was an incredible talent. He was a very talented chef and worked at some of the world's top restaurants. And then became a TV host kind of inadvertently. He wrote a book called Kitchen Confidential, which really put him on the map, and then started doing travel shows where he went around the world and ate wild things and just lived this crazy wild life. He had a dark side. He was an addict, and it kind of manifested itself in many ways in his life. But one of the things that he said in the documentary was that it was actually toward the beginning, and it's something that it really inspired me. So when he was making the transition from chef to author initially, he said that at 43 years old, he felt like he had lived all of his adventures. And that really kind of hit home with me and made me really sad because I think it's an important thing. Bourdain is one of those people that's always referenced alongside like Oprah and a handful of others that, they got their start late in life and they made a name for themselves after they were much older. And so don't give up, keep trying and all that kind of stuff. But to me, that's true. It's inspiring. But the flip side of that is that it's heartbreaking to think about somebody at only 43 years old thinking that, they lived the high points of life and that the big adventures were behind them. I mean, we talk about our glory days all the time, and, everybody looks back to the times in college or, earlier in their marriage before they had kids and they were traveling and having all this fun and all that stuff. And all those times are great. Not taking anything away from those, but, I think it's tricky to have too much nostalgia about that stuff because there's a long life ahead of us. It's been something that's been on my mind quite a bit lately. I've been in IT for 10 years now, and up until this point, I'm reaching an interesting transition in my career, right? I've always been the youngest guy on the team. I was the new kid on the block trying to prove myself. And with that came a lot of perspective and, maybe, I don't even know, kind of knowing my role. And it was a role that I settled into and used to my advantage, because being the young guy on the team, you get overlooked, you get discredited, you don't feel like you're worthy. And so you're constantly trying to prove yourselves. And so, I took that and it made me work harder and it made me do things over and above to make sure that my value was known. And, from that, I've gained some success. I've got some experience and I'm moving through my career but I'm not that young kid anymore. I'm 33 years old now. I'm kind of a middle-aged guy. I've been doing this for some time. I got some experience under my belt. And so it's been something I've been just mindful of, kind of keeping at the side of my mind about, carving out that new spot for myself. And so when I heard the quote from Bourdain, it got me thinking about it, and I just wanted to kind of touch on it today about Something I'm going to choose to believe for myself, and I'm going to choose to believe it for you too, that the best is yet to come. I think we start to age and we start to maybe slip downhill when we think that we've lived all of our adventures. A life without hope and possibility for a better future is a life without passion, and a life without drive, and a life without intensity. And I don't want that. Even when I'm 80, I don't want that, but especially at 33. For a lot of my colleagues in their 40s and 50s, like we all have a long life ahead of us. We all have career accomplishments ahead of us. And so that's the message for today. I want it to hit home deeply here for myself. And I wanted to say it very clearly for anybody that may be watching this. And I believe it today, that for all of us, the best is yet to come. Life's greatest adventures are ahead of us, not behind us. So keep chasing them. We're going to find the things that light us up. We're going to find maybe a new hobby that just totally changes our lives. We're going to work with people that we haven't worked with yet, that are going to have a profound impact on our lives. And we're going to do more things with the people that we already work with to make the people around us better, to make our customers better, to make our company better. And yeah, the best is yet to come. I firmly believe that. And I hope you do too. So cheers to all the wonderful adventures that life has. And cheers to life getting better from today forward and not reliving the past. Thanks. We'll catch you guys next week.